Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some eye swatches of the Huda Beauty Knotty palette. I did purchase it myself from Sephora, so I believe it is in stock there still. I don't think it's sold out. I saw this and I freaking melted. I melted! And you know, there's a lot of standard warm, chocolatey, you know, kind of burgundy shades in here that we see a lot. But then there's so many like unique things. Like, my god, look at this baby up here!
Harvey's out there eating fish.
Harvey's eating a fish?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go. Guys, we have a bird and it eats fish. Anyway, I gotta go. Oh my god! Nature is like so amazing, you guys. Sorry about that. We live in front of a really pretty, I almost don't even want to say pond because it's massive. It's kind of like a lake, but it's not a lake. But it's fascinating. It's actually this like historically preserved area that our house is right up against. It's like one of those things in your town that like legally like you're not allowed to F with at all. It's its own little ecosystem and it's very important. And so it's preserved and protected by New Jersey. I'll put a shot of it in here so you can see. It looks kind of dingy right now because it's raining and we're having a new roof put on, so their equipment's kind of everywhere. But it's this beautiful, beautiful little pond. Massive pond, actually. And when all the leaves are like fully bloomed, it's so freaking gorgeous. But it's so fantastic because we have frogs, we have turtles, we have snakes, we have ducks, we have geese, we have foxes, we have coyotes, and then we also have Harvey, who is our, gosh, what is he, I can't, you guys will see him, you'll know what the bird actually is. I keep wanting to say crane, but I know it's not a crane. But he's fantastic. His name is Harvey. Well, we named him Harvey, and every time it rains, he loves to come by and get some fish out of the water, and then he eats them just right there in our front yard, and he's just an angel, and we adore him. So we always go and say hi to Harvey every time he's here. I mean, we don't approach him. We just stand from our deck and cheer him on because he's just, you know, he's a knockout. What can I say? It's so funny. It looks like literally in a conference call, like business meeting, and he runs up the stairs to tell me that Harvey's outside and like we have to go right now. We freaking love animals in this house. I don't remember what I started with in this video. We're going to be doing eye swatches of the Knotty palette. The one that made me actually purchase the palette was Slippery. When I saw this in photos, I was so confused on what the hell it is. It looks to be a gel of some sort with these little pigment balls in them. It's fascinating. But yeah, we're going to be trying this all out on my eyes today. Let me just shut the hell up so we can get going. Sound good? Cool. Side note, I'm also doing the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette this week. There was a lot of talk about this baby online because the photos looked amazing and then people started getting it and it didn't look as great in like real people's photos. Like the PR photos look great, real people's photos didn't look so wow. And to me it still doesn't look very wow. So that will be coming this week as well. Okay, let's get into this now. Enough of rambling. I'm so sorry. The very first shade is called Filthy and this is a matte. Ooh, very pretty. I like this pink. It's more mauve-y than pink, I would say. But yet there's definitely like a bubblegum punch to it, if that makes sense. I love this color so much. It's much more bolder than it looks, I think, on camera. It's definitely much richer. The lights kind of drown it out a little bit, but it's a beautiful color, you guys. I love Huda Beauty formula. I really, really do. So that is the shade Filthy. The next shade is Passion, and I think this is a cream formula. Here we go. Sorry, looking at it backwards. And I'm so sad to ruin this with my stupid finger because it was just so pretty before I mucked it all up, but it's still actually really, really pretty, and it looks to be freaking phenomenal. Oh, by the way, I am so sorry about my hands. I am cut to hell here. Can you see all the scratches? Girl. Let's see, how can I make this family friendly? I don't think I can. Anyway, let me tell you what happened. This is freaking gorgeous. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay, let's continue. So last week, Alok and I were celebrating something. If you follow me on Instagram, you know the deal. That girl Shay XO. We were celebrating with some champagne, and it was a really exciting night. And he gave me that look like, and I was like, okay. So, you know, I'd been drinking, a little tipsy, ran upstairs, got in the shower, took care of some personal grooming, and just moral of the story, don't shave yourself while you're drunk, because I took that razor up and I sliced myself to hell. It's a funny story. I just wasn't prepared for the, and then I was like, oh, and then I had to go. I had to go take care of business, because it was a good night. Anyway, this is about the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my whole life. I mean, this makes me say ColourPop who. You know I love ColourPop, like flippy, multi-chromey shadows. This, though, is out of the ballpark. Huda, this is unbelievable. This is so dang beautiful. I mean, my God, what is there to even say? Absolute masterpiece. This has me even more excited for the rest of this palette. So that, again, is the shade Passion. The next shade is Shameless, right here, another creamy formula. If you're wondering the texture versus a Super Shock shadow, like the Huda versus Super Shock, these are drier. They're not quite as bouncy creamy. It's still creamy, but ColourPop has like a distinct, like, you know, smushy, you know? It's all very technical, you know, it's very smushy and shit. So these are just slightly drier, which in a way I could see being beneficial because I think it would have less chance of creasing. Well, and I don't really think that the ColourPop Super Shock shadows crease that much either. It's just different. It's a little drier, but I like it. It's not dry to where I'm like, ew. It's nice. Whoa! What is happening, Huda Beauty? This is a freaking knockout. Holy crap. Ladies and gents, put this at the top of your Christmas list this year. Santa is coming through! I always ask for makeup for Christmas. Like, we do Secret Santa with my family. And then Alok and I sometimes do gifts and then sometimes we don't because we're fucking busy. And we're married, we've been together for like 12 fucking years. So sometimes we just don't. But sometimes I'll be like, babe, can I have this new palette? And he's always like, why do you want makeup for Christmas? Like, you have makeup all the fucking time. Like, get something else. Anyway, that is so beautiful, you guys. That is Shameless. It makes me think of like, radioactive. Radioactive. Remember that song? I don't know why. It looks like a beautiful biohazard. That's how I feel. It's like just, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning, you guys. That is the shade Shameless. The next shade is Please Me. I'm loving how many of these are that creamier texture. It makes it a lot easier for me. Oh, interesting. I thought this was going to be a little more bronze, but it's got this burgundy undertone to it. It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's such a shame we're just not going anywhere for the holidays this year because I'm just feeling so like Christmas party ready with this palette already. I mean, this is easy, gorgeous glam. Throw on a pair of lashes or don't. A nice burgundy dark lip. Beautiful. This would be such a knockout. I'm so crazy about this palette, you guys. I'm so excited. That is the shade Please Me. The next shade is Hypnotic, and this is a matte formula. Back to the mattes. I love that this is a pretty, I haven't actually counted. It might not be completely even, but I love that it's kind of a pretty close to even split, I imagine, of like really wow creamy shades, and then we also have a really decent amount of matte shades in this palette. It's got it all, I feel like. I really hope this is permanent. If this is limited edition, I will cry. And I'll buy 3 more. I'm not even kidding. And that's just me. I'm not telling you guys to love it as much as I do. I just know what I love. And I love this palette. This color is so soft and beautiful. It's rich, but it's soft. It can be all over the lid. It could be a transition, you know. Gorgeous, you guys. That is the shade Hypnotic. The next shade is Hard. I think it's a cream. Yeah, and it looks like chocolate peanut butter. Oh my god. This is what I figured. When you really just have kind of like a light warm brown in there and then a lot of a dark brown as well, it'll pretty much just balance out to a warm brown. I didn't think it'd be too wow, but it's gorgeous. I've been thinking about this texture more. The one thing I would hope is that the palette itself doesn't dry out super fast because it is a bit of a drier cream. Because even our Super Shocks, I think, tend to dry out fairly quickly. I mean, yes and no. Also, it kind of depends on the formula. Sometimes I feel like the ColourPop matte Super Shocks dry out faster than the glittery or like a shimmery one. I don't know why, and I could be completely wrong. That's just what I feel like when I go to use them. So that's one concern I have with this, and I hope it doesn't happen. I will keep you guys updated, of course. Like the first time I notice it's getting a little dry, I'll let you know if you even still care at that point. But yeah. That is really just a beautiful warm brown. So that is the shade Hard. The next shade, oh, second row, Untamed. Oh, a gorgeous matte burgundy. It has a lot of like plum in it too, not just a burgundy. This is such a sexy little palette. I'm trying to go very gently because I don't want to get this burgundy shade all over my face before we finish the swatches. So sorry it's taking me longer than usual. Oh my god, it is so rich and beautiful. It's inky, like I always say. I love how dark it is, and honestly, like, very minimal fallout, which is really nice if you're going to be working with something with a lot of red tones in it. So, oh my gosh, like, fine wine. It is beautiful, you guys. That is the shade Untamed. The next shade is Irresistible, another cream. Ooh, wow, very high shine, very sparkly. Oh, a lot pinker than I was. In the pan, it didn't look quite as, rich of a color. Like, there's a lot of red in it, but the shine to it is a really pretty light pink. It is a beautiful, beautiful color. I would say, compared to Shameless from the top row, Shameless had a lot more orange to it, and this one really just has that pretty pinky, red, burgundy, little sexy color. Gosh, she's gorgeous. Oh my god, look at that. Are you kidding me? I don't even want to be doing these swatches anymore because I don't want to waste any of the product. Like, it is actually physically making me sick to be wiping this makeup off after every time I put it on. I hate the waste of it. It's so beautiful, you guys. There is the shade Irresistible. The next shade is Flower Power, another cream, and it looks to be a matte mixed with the veining of like a sparkly shade. So overall, it'll make kind of like a duller shimmer. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, that's pretty. I like it. It's definitely kind of a mustard tone brown, but then it has that light shimmer to it that makes it super, super glowy. It's not my favorite in the palette for sure. I would use this one probably mainly as like an inner corner situation, or possibly to build up into a look, like maybe with Hard would be really, really pretty. But it by itself is not my favorite. So that is the shade Flower Power. Next, jumping into some mattes here, we have Rough. This is a naughty palette. Goodness gracious. Clutching my pearls over here. I don't know why though, because I opened the whole video with a story about my vagine. I guess it's always a little dose of naughty over here. Oh. Anyone else who deals with ovarian issues, I feel for you. Like right now I have the worst cramps and I'm not even remotely on my cycle. They just come all the time and I feel like I'm gonna die. Okay. Burn through it, girlfriend. This is a beautiful, beautiful matte. Not super wow, but will just work out beautifully to build up some really nice looks. It's like, I'd say about three shades, maybe 3 shades deeper than Hypnotic, the one we did on the first row. I like how close it is to my sweater color here, by the way. This is from Forever 21. It's a piece of shit, so I don't recommend it. That is the shade Rough. The next shade is Spicy. This one's much deeper of the mattes that we've tried so far. It looks to be the deepest in the palette. So let's give her a go. Oh yeah, so dark. Still sort of has that plummy burgundy tone, but much, much deeper. Like a blackberry almost, like a raspberry, like a dark raspberry. You guys know I always try to compare colors to food. I don't know why. Maybe because it's what I'm most familiar with. I am so impressed by the very minimal fallout in this palette from some of these really, really rich, inky matte shades. Anyways, you guys, that is the shade Spicy. The next shade is Arouse right here. It's a matte formula. Ooh, very pretty. A lot of these mattes, again, they're not super unique. They're not super wow in the fact that they're different or anything like that. But I love that it fits the storyline. I love to envision all the looks I could create with this palette. So it works for me. I mean, we have so many like really special creamy shades in here. You need some of these. I don't want to say basic, but more like standard colors that would fit the theme and, you know, just so you can really build a beautiful look. But I do love, 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 love this color. My gosh, I love it. Gorgeous. So that is the shade Arouse. Finally, the moment I've been waiting for. I don't know about you guys, but we are getting into this shade here, Slippery. So you can see the silver pan behind it. The rest of it is clear, like gloss, and then these little pigment ball things. It's interesting. I'm gonna pop it on this eye. Oh, it's very glossy. It's very, 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 very glossy. Oh, and it actually looks to be rather sheer. I think it's just meant to be a really cool glossy topper. It's got, you know, obviously a little bit of bronze and pink pigment. It's very subtle. I mean, it's named Slippery. It's literally just supposed to look wet, which it does. It's actually kind of cool. I'm a little let down. I expected a little bit more of a wow moment, but it's cool. It serves its glossy, wet, slippery purpose, but wah, wah, wah. Like, I kind of feel a little let down. I definitely expected, I don't know what I expected, I guess. It just looks so crazy. And it's just, you know, a little slippery. That's about it. The nice thing is, though, I can't feel it. I'm always really critical about these eyeglasses because sometimes they're just uncomfortable. And it's hard to avoid, of course, you know. But it doesn't feel uncomfortable, which I really like. So that is Slippery. Next, we have the shade Tantric, another cream. Oh, and this is a nice light foiled gold. Can I ask you guys, why does everyone think Khloe Kardashian is pregnant? I've not been keeping up, but I keep seeing it all over my timeline that a lot of people think that, and I don't know why. So I'm very curious. Oh gosh, it's so beautiful. I love how textured it is. Oh, by the way, you guys always ask about these brushes. This brush is from Sephora. It's their Pro brushes, their Pro brush line. This is the Pro Powder F59. Yeah, so you guys asked about these a lot. They're from Sephora. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. What else can you say? I feel like a goddess in this eyeshadow. And I don't love gold, but this one is super pretty. So that is the shade Tantric. The next shade is Knotty. Oh, the official Knotty shadow. This is a matte, same old burgundy shades, but I would say this one is much lighter, and it has, it just doesn't have quite as much depth as Spicy and Untamed. And it's a little more on the warmer side, like a warmy brown burgundy, as opposed to like a berry, raspberry type of dark plum color. Oh my gosh. I think Tantric, the shade we just did, would look so pretty in the center of this. Like a nice gold pop. My eyelid's getting a little raw there, you guys. I'm going to switch to this other eye going forward. I'm sorry. If you notice near the ends of my videos, sometimes the shadow doesn't quite stick right there in the center, and it's just because of the removal process. But yeah, this one has a lot more reddish brown burgundy tone to it. But I love it. It is gorgeous. So there is the shade Knotty. Next up, we have the shade Provocative right here. This one's interesting. It's kind of like a plummy purple or like an eggplant with maybe a rose gold shimmer running through it. Oh gosh, it's so pretty on the finger. Look at that. My goodness. I just can't get over this. What a refreshing palette, you know what I mean? It just feels like so exciting. I love this one. It's so dimensional. I love how the colors fuse together. I love how it still kind of looks dark in some areas and light in some other areas on my eye. I think that's really interesting. It's cool, you guys. I love it. That is the shade Provocative. And last of the shimmer shades here, we have Desire, which is kind of like a red. Ooh, are you seeing this? I'm like so sad this is over. You know it? Ah, my God! You know it's a good palette when you're like depressed that it's ending. Like normally, like a lot of times, I always love my eye palette swatches. Don't get me wrong. It's like the funnest thing in the world for me to do. But more often than not, by the end of the palette, I'm like, okay, this was fun. I need to be done. But I'm actually so depressed and sad right now that this is almost over because I never want the magic to end. This has been so great. Oh my God, what a beautiful color. I know, I'm sorry. I'm not good at doing swatches on my left eye for some reason. I hate doing them over here because it always comes out weird as hell. But regardless of my shitty application, it is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's red, but it's bright, and there's like a little grapefruit in it or a little orange. It's really interesting. Oh my God. And again, imagine it like in the center of this shadow here. Breathtaking, you guys. That is the shade Desire. What else can be said about it? It's beautiful. And the very last shade is Juicy. Ooh, very pretty. I love how all of these shades have been deeper than I feel like they look in the pan. Or I guess it looks pretty close. Just rich in color. I just love it. I love color so much. It gets me so excited. So I don't know. This has just been such a wonderful palette. My goodness. It's beautiful. Look at that beautiful color. My gosh. So pigmented, so opaque, and a clean application. Very minimal fallout there on the cheek there. Nothing you can't handle. That is Juicy. You guys, what a wow moment. This palette has been so much fun. It is an absolute just dreamboat of a palette. It is so freaking pretty. I can't even tell you guys how much of a fan I am over this palette. It has just got me all excited. So yeah, you guys, that is it for my eye swatches of the Knotty Nude palette from Huda Beauty. If you want to check this out, I will link it down below for you guys. If you don't follow me, I'd appreciate if you go over and follow me on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. That girl Shay XO. Links to everything in the battle box down below. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!